Okay, so I just bought the F-A-18. I'm going to give this a crack with, hopefully take it for its first flight. So we're going to jump into the training. I did the cold start just before, had no idea what I did. Pressed a lot of buttons, flicked a lot of switches. So we're going to go taxi takeoff. And see how we go. Hopefully we get airborne and don't.
In this lesson, we are starting in an up and running Hornet, and we will learn how to taxi to the runway and take off. Before we taxi though, let's set up a few more items that we did not cover in the cold start lesson. Press spacebar when ready. During low light operations like this evening, place the landing and taxi light switch in the up-on position. Now, set up your position, formation, and strobe lights as you desire. The formation lights, or slime lights, are low-intensity green lights that aid in close-in formation flying. Position lights are red and green lights.
Speak a little bit faster.
Press spacebar. Time to set up your internal lights. The instrument dial controls instrument panel lighting. The console dial controls the lighting on the left and right consoles. The flood dial illuminates the forward section of the cockpit. And the chart dial controls lighting of your lap area. The lights test switch will test all cockpit warning and caution lights. The warn caution dial allows you to adjust the illumination of those lights. The mode switch allows you to select default internal lighting for day, night, and night vision goggle use. Experiment with these and press spacebar when ready to move on.
Okay.
On the altimeter, rotate the pressure setting knob with the mouse wheel to set an airfield pressure elevation of 29.90 atmospheric pressure. Press spacebar when it's set.
Looks good to me.
To steer the Hornet when taxiing, we will use the nose wheel steering, or NWS, by pressing the S key, or the NWS button on the control stick. When engaged, as indicated by the NWS spacebar to continue.
Okay.
To get rolling, slowly increase the throttles until you have forward movement, but do not exceed 75% engine RPM.
Okay.
Press Z to steer left and X to steer right. Taxi forward to the runway directly ahead.
Jeez, how am I supposed to do that? This is really hard with an Xbox controller.
Keep taxiing forward and practice both normal NWS and NWS high steering.
I'm gonna stop here.
Come to a halt just short of entering the runway by using the toe brakes at the top of the rudder. Before entering the runway, arm the ejection seat by moving the ejection seat safe armed handle on your right in the down position so that the armed label becomes visible. Also, tighten your restraints. Check left and right for track. Increase engine RPM and enter the runway.
Okay.
Once on the runway, align the aircraft down the center line and come to a halt on the 25 runway heading marker. Press spacebar to continue.
Missed the center slightly.
On the right DDI, confirm that the stab position is set to 12 for both stabilators. While holding down the wheel brakes, increase engine RPM to 80% and check that the temps on the IFE do not exceed 800 degrees Celsius. In a Hornet, you always take off an afterburner. Release the brakes and push the throttles all the way forward to full afterburner.
Flaps are in half. Okay. So I guess we hold that. And then we go full afterburner.
As you roll down the runway, keep aligned down the middle with very small rudder inputs. Keep a small amount of backstick and the Hornet will automatically rotate and fly off the runway. Raise the landing gear by moving the landing gear control handle in the up position. Then, raise the flaps by setting the flap switch to the up auto position. taken off in a Hornet. You can end the lesson now by pressing the
yeah.
escape key.
What a sexy plane. There you go. Did it, Peter. Alright, next lesson.